In the world of hip-hop, brotherhood is a fragile thing. Alliances are forged in the studio and tested on the charts. For over a decade, two of the game's biggest names, Drake and J. Cole, built what looked like an unbreakable bond. They were the outliers, two titans who chose collaboration over conflict, respect over rivalry. But in 2024, the biggest beef in modern rap history blew up, and their alliance was caught right in the crossfire. This is the story of how a decade of friendship was put to the ultimate test, forcing each man to choose a side and, in doing so, reveal his own truth. It was the moment nobody saw coming. On stage at his own festival, J. Cole, a rapper at the very peak of his powers, called his own diss track, a fresh response to Kendrick Lamar, the lamest, goofiest thing he'd ever done. He apologized, not just to Kendrick, but to his fans, for disrupting his own peace. In that moment, a line was drawn. It was a move nobody had ever seen before, and it sent shockwaves through the industry, leaving fans asking one question: how did one of hip-hop's strongest friendships get to a point where one brother had to publicly stand down, leaving the other to fight a war alone? To understand the fracture, you first have to understand J. Cole's side of the foundation. He came up as a distinct voice destined for greatness in an era where the industry tried to pit him against his peers. His 2010 mixtape, Friday Night Lights, featured the track In the Morning, a song that would become the first major collaboration between him and Drake. It was the start of a partnership built on a rare, kindred spirit, born from mutual respect rather than conflict. From the jump, Drake chose a different path for his relationship with J. Cole. Already a rising star, Drake actually reached out to Cole to get on In the Morning, a clear and early sign of respect. This wasn't just a one-off feature, it was the start of a real partnership. Drake constantly used his platform to uplift his friend. He brought J. Cole out as a surprise guest at his OVO Fest in 2011 and again during the massive Summer 16 tour, showering him with praise. On stage at the Austin City Limits Festival in 2015, Drake couldn't have been clearer. This, my brother, man, J. Cole. I promise you, one of the greatest guys I've ever known in my life. It was a public declaration of a deep-seated loyalty. As his career exploded, J. Cole was crowned one of the big three alongside Drake and Kendrick Lamar. While a testament to his dominance, this created an invisible battlefield. Amidst this, Cole famously carved a path of non-confrontation. He was a competitor, but one held together by years of mutual respect. This all culminated in early 2024 on the joint It's All a Blur tour. On their #1 hit, First Person Shooter, Cole dropped the line that would ignite the fire. "We the big three like we started a league." Performed to sold-out arenas, it felt like the pinnacle of their partnership, a confident declaration of shared status. While J. Cole carved a path of non-confrontation, Drake became known for his ability to balance alliances with high-profile feuds, a master of hip-hop's intricate politics. The Big Three narrative only heightened the stakes for him. The It's All a Blur tour was more than a concert series. It was a victory lap, a celebration of his and Cole's decade-long journey. Performing First Person Shooter was a powerful statement of their united front at the top of the game. They had no idea those very lyrics were about to trigger the biggest hip-hop feud of the decade, forcing them onto opposite sides of a lyrical war. The tour wrapped its run with Cole on March 27th, just days after the bomb dropped. On March 22nd, 2024, the hip-hop world stood still. On the Future and Metro Boomin track Like That, Kendrick Lamar delivered a verse that was more than just a diss. It was a declaration of war. He took direct aim at First Person Shooter, rapping, the big three, it's just big me." The verse was an immediate explosion. It wasn't just a shot at Drake, it was a complete and total rejection of the camaraderie that Drake and Cole had just celebrated. Kendrick wasn't just claiming the throne, he was kicking the other two chairs away from the table. The pressure was immense, and Cole responded. On April 5th, he dropped a surprise mixtape, Might Delete Later, and on it was 7-Minute Drill, a direct response to Kendrick. And then, just 2 days later, the unthinkable happened. During his headlining set at the Dreamville Festival on April 7th, he expressed deep regret over the diss. He called the track a misstep that disrupted his peace and publicly apologized to Kendrick. Soon after, 7-Minute Drill was pulled from all streaming services. To some, it was a noble act of prioritizing mental peace. To others, it was a forfeiture. Cole's truth was authenticity, even if it meant breaking the unwritten rules of rap battle. J. Cole's apology split the hip-hop community right down the middle. Was it a sign of profound maturity or a moment of weakness? It's a decision that's still debated today. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're enjoying this deep dive into one of hip-hop's most complex stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. While J. Cole chose peace, Drake chose war. Left to fight what was now all his battle, Drake entered one of the most vicious lyrical exchanges in recent memory. He dropped tracks like Push-Ups and Family Matters, taking direct aim at Kendrick. Kendrick fired back with blistering force on songs like Euphoria, Meet the Grams, and the culture-shifting Not Like Us. The battle got personal, fast, with brutal accusations flying from both sides. Drake, a veteran of lyrical warfare, found himself in the fight of his career. As the dust settled, the question lingered. Would things have gone differently if his brother was still by his side? For months, there was silence. Then, in October 2024, J. Cole released Port Antonio. On the song, he laid his heart bare, explaining his choice to back out. "I pulled the plug because I seen where that was bout to go. Wouldn't have lost a battle, dog. I would've lost a bro." Most importantly, he extended a direct olive branch, rapping, "Hey, Drake, you'll always be my nen." Drake's response was a subtle but clear Instagram like on a post with the song, a small digital nod that spoke volumes. The story of Drake and J. Cole is more than a chapter in a beef. It's a story about loyalty and identity. When faced with a war, two brothers chose their own truth. J. Cole chose peace to protect his spirit. Drake stood his ground to uphold the competitive principles he'd long embodied. Their brotherhood was tested by fire, but their story shows some bonds are strong enough to withstand the flames.